Hi, my name is Hillary Bowers, and I am the Recovery Services Administrator for Recovery Innovations. I oversee operations for 3 wellness cities in Contra Costa County in California. And our mission at Recovery Innovations is to create opportunities and environments that empower people to recover, to succeed in accomplishing our goals, to reconnect to themselves, others, and meaning and purpose in life. And what I love about our mission and the RAP plan is that they really go hand in hand, because I believe, and we believe at Recovery Innovations, that recovery is possible for anyone. And so we have that hope for people. And hope is one of the key concepts of the RAP plan. And so I'm very excited about the opportunity to possibly become a certified RAP facilitator. So I'm a trainer for the RAP plan. So I became a certified RAP facilitator in 2008, and when I learned about the RAP plan, what was really interesting to me about it was that even though I was already in recovery for my own mental wellness and other issues that I was struggling with at the time, no one had talked to me about the RAP plan. Therapists, psychiatrists, substance abuse counselors, no one mentioned the RAP plan to me. I heard a lot of other treatment options, and some worked for me and some didn't. But I didn't hear about the RAP plan until I took a training for peer providers in Contra Costa County. And one of the requirements of that training was to do your own RAP plan. And so what was really exciting was that I got to not only learn what was wrong with me, but I got to, which is a lot of what the other providers would tell you, but I got to learn about my strengths, and I got to learn that I was in charge of my recovery, and that I have options, and that I have choices, and I got to learn all about myself and things that I didn't even know was possible. And my favorite part for me of the RAP plan is the early warning signs, because it really helps me to stop and take a look at what I'm doing when I have an early warning sign and say, wait a minute, I might need to reevaluate some of my choices right now and take a little bit better care of myself and pull some things out of my toolbox and start using that. And so my RAP plan has changed immensely over the years. The first time I did my RAP plan, it was very, very detailed. And today I use the RAP app. That's basically what my RAP plan is. And I just have a few simple things that I know that I need to do every day to maintain my wellness. And I'm constantly aware of those triggers and early warning signs for me. Because I don't ever want to get to any of those other phases of the RAP plan. And I haven't been there in quite some time. And so I work really hard to take care of myself and make my wellness a priority. So RAP, in case you're wondering, is a system for monitoring uncomfortable and distressing feelings and emotions. Many people use it for mental health issues. In fact, that's what it was first developed for. And a lot of people use it for other things like learning to quit smoking, learning to lose weight, people that have diabetes or other illnesses, just to learn how to take better care of yourself. Anyone can use RAP. People use RAP for their families, for taking care of loved ones who are sick. There's RAP for veterans, there's RAP for kids, there's RAP in Spanish. So anyone that's interested in learning about creating a RAP plan can do it. You have to be able to read or write. People that create RAP plans create them on tape recorders. They create them with pictures and collages. I had the opportunity of facilitating some RAP classes for 3 years. Of over 30 people, I co-facilitated RAP classes and went over people's RAP plans with them and things like that. And I had the opportunity to see the most creative RAP plans. And it doesn't have to be creative either. It can just be whatever is right for you, because it's your plan and no one else can tell you how to do it but you. So I am going to tell you a little bit about the key concepts of RAP. So the way that I learned about the key concepts was to remember the saying hope, press. And the reason that helps me is because I have a hard time remembering 5 words. So hope, personal responsibility, self-advocacy, and support. If you take hope and then you take the first initial of all of those words, it spells hope, press. And so that's how I remember it, and I did not make that up. That was actually taught to me by the gentleman who did the training for me to become a certified RAP facilitator. And so now that I'm on my next journey of becoming an advanced level facilitator, so that I can train other people to become a certified facilitator, I am excited to be able to pass my knowledge of RAP down and some of the different tricks I've learned along the years to help me in my journey. So I'm going to go over each of the key concepts a little bit and tell you about some of my experience and how it relates to the key concepts. And then I'm going to go into each of the parts of the RAP plan. So the first key concept is hope. And without hope, it's really hard for people to recover. One of the ways that helps me to remember that there is hope is to remember a time in the past where I was doing better. When I'm feeling down and I feel like just things are awful, I can remember that, things weren't always like this, and things did get better. And tomorrow is another day and things will get better. And I've worked with people sometimes that no matter what you say to them, they don't feel hopeful, and that's okay. That's where they are. I can't change anyone or make anyone feel any different, and I wouldn't want to. But what I can tell that individual is that I know that you are not feeling well today, but I want to let you know that I believe that you can, and that recovery is possible for anyone, and that I have hope for you, that you can and will move forward in your recovery. So I can hold the hope for other people if they're unable to hold the hope for themselves. But hope is basically the spark. It's the beginning of something, and it's different for everybody that explains it. But for me, hope is just that things can get better, and that things will get better. And no matter how bad they are right now, tomorrow is like Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. Tomorrow is another day. So that's my idea of hope. Personal responsibility. I may have had some horrible things happen to me in my past, some trauma, things that people have done to me, things that labels, diagnosis, all of these things in my past. But for me, I cannot any longer make excuses. I'm responsible for my recovery, and I'm responsible for the choices that I make today and for the future that I will have. The past is the past. It doesn't mean that it's not ever painful, or that I don't remember it, or that I block it out, or anything, or try to ignore it, or anything like that. But what it means is that I take responsibility, and I am the example to other people. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And I set high expectations for the people I work with, other peers in recovery, and facilitators and staff. We all have high expectations for each other, and no one is treated any differently, regardless of our past or our labels, because we focus on today, and we focus on the future. So education for me is learning everything I can, not just about things that help me in my mental health, wellness, and recovery, but because that's not all I am. It's about learning things that I need to do to help myself move forward and be all that I can be. If I have a goal, whether it's to get a certain type of employment, whether it's to take an advanced level facilitator training, whether it's to save money to go on a vacation, learn to speak a new language, whatever my goal is, It's up to me to educate myself on the steps to get that goal and to reach that goal. And, if I am looking for resources in the community to help me with something, I need to educate myself. And so education helps me to learn about myself and what I want for myself and what my goals are for myself, and also how to get to those places. And so that's education for me. Self-advocacy is knowing that I have rights, and also knowing how to advocate for myself, and how to get what I want in a way that for me is healthy, and believing enough in myself to advocate for myself. I know that there was a time where I could, and this is just a good analogy to me, is that I couldn't even go into a restaurant, and if I ordered something and they brought me the wrong thing, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to upset anybody. And so it seems like something small, but now I can go into a restaurant, no problem, and I can say, this is not what I ordered. Can you please remake it? And it's, I don't have to yell or shout or scream or anything like that, but I know that I deserve what I'm asking for and what I'm paying for. And so it's kind of an analogy that, for wellness and recovery or mental health services, but it's, it just goes, RAP can be used for anything. So, whatever that is that you're advocating for, whether it's having the right kind of dressing on your salad, or whether it's advocating for a certain type of medication, or to not take a medication, or to live a certain place, or live with certain people. That's self-advocacy. And support. Support for me is, it's always hard to decide which to me is the most important, because there's really no most important, but I would have to say that support for me is a huge part of the RAP plan. When I was in that class in 2008 learning about RAP, I also had an opportunity to develop a support group of folks that understood exactly what I was going through and some of the challenges that I had to face. So when I facilitate RAP classes, or any other classes for that matter, I always pass around a support sheet that people can sign their names on if they choose to. It's up to them, and they can put their name on that list and their phone number on that list, the best times to call, so that they can start building their support group right there in the RAP class. And we had discussions about what are the types of support you use, who are your supporters. For me, I have I've been fortunate enough to have many supporters and many close friends in my life, but I have certain people that I go to for certain things. I know that I can't talk to everybody about mental health issues, and it's not that they would necessarily judge me, or they just might not understand, or know that sometimes it's good to just listen to somebody. But I have people that I go to for that, and then I have people that I talk to about relationships or stress and just different life challenges, issues with food and diet and exercise, and just someone to go have fun with. Support for me doesn't have to be that I have to call somebody with a problem. It's I just need someone to talk to and have a good time with and go see a movie with. So for me, that's support. And those are the key concepts. So hope, personal responsibility, self-advocacy, and support. And the RAP plan itself has several different parts of the RAP plan. The parts of the RAP plan are the toolbox, daily maintenance plan, triggers, early warning signs, when things are breaking down, crisis planning, and post-crisis planning. And so the wellness toolbox is basically like a brainstorming, I guess you could say. It's it's the foundation on which you're going to build your entire RAP plan. So in class we have discussions about different wellness tools that we use, and we talk about different wellness tools, and we practice different wellness tools and activities with each other. An example of a wellness tool I might use is taking a bubble bath, sitting outside with my dogs and having a cup of coffee. Those are examples of wellness tools. The list of wellness tools is endless. And every class I facilitate, I learn new wellness tools to put into my wellness toolbox. So daily maintenance plan is a plan that we write of things we need to do every day to stay well. But we start our plan with writing down a list of attributes, our strengths, of how we are when we are well. So for me, I might write things like, I am outgoing, I'm energetic, I'm friendly, I'm helpful, and I'm talkative. Those are a few of my strengths and my attributes that I would put in my how I'm feeling when I'm well. So that if I am having a day where I don't feel like I have a lot of hope, I can go back and I can read that and I can say, oh, just a few months ago when I wrote this RAP plan, I was feeling very good about things. So maybe I can get to this point again. And so the next part of our daily maintenance plan is a list that we need of things that we need to do every day to stay well. Some people create a very detailed list. Wake up and the time they wake up, brush their teeth, take a shower, take medications, eat breakfast. I mean, these are just examples, and everyone's plan will be completely different. And then some people's are very simple, take shower, exercise, play with dogs. I mean, it could be so different because it's for you. It's your plan, and it's what you need to do every day to stay well. So the next part is triggers. So triggers are an external event, something on the outside that we usually don't always have control over, but it's something from the outside that makes us feel uncomfortable, makes us have yucky feelings. Like an example of a trigger for me could be a traffic jam. It could make me feel really just anxious and nervous and angry, and especially if I'm running late, it could be a trigger. So I'm going to come up with a plan to deal with that trigger. And so why it's really hard for us sometimes to write down our triggers, it's really important because it can help us to come up with plans to deal with them, and also how to avoid them. Because there are some things that we might need to avoid and not want to go around so much. So early warning signs. So early warning signs are internal, something within us that we notice is not right. And it could be a feeling, maybe we're feeling a little more anxious, or it could be an action or a behavior. For me, an early warning sign is missing the exit on the freeway. When I miss that exit on the freeway, I know that I'm doing too many things and I need to slow down and I need to go back to my daily maintenance plan. So when things are breaking down things are getting pretty serious. So it might be we might want to pay a little bit more attention, a lot more attention to what's happening. Maybe we've begun having a hard time focusing. Things are just getting a little worse in our lives, and we want to come up with a plan to deal with those things. Maybe we're crying all the time. Maybe we're missing work. Maybe we started abusing substances. So that is when things are breaking down. The next phase is crisis planning. So crisis planning is a plan that we come up with, basically an advanced directive on who we want to help us to take care of ourselves when we're not able to. And developing a crisis plan is very empowering because it helps us to decide the types of treatments we want and the types of treatments we don't want, the supporters we want, the supporters we don't want, where we want to go. where we don't want to go. Do we want to go to a hospital, or do we want to stay at home and just have be around some people that we feel safe and comfortable with? Are there certain medications we don't want to take, and why don't we want to take them? And if we are just unable to take care of ourselves, which supporter do we trust, and which supporters do we not want to be a part of our plan? And the post-crisis plan is a very important part of the RAP plan that a lot of people, I think, don't pay as much attention to as should be, and it's very empowering to talk about that with your friends and family and loved ones, and develop that plan. And last is the post-crisis plan. The post-crisis plan is, how are you going to support yourself, and who's going to help to support you when you're coming out of that crisis? You know, maybe you're not back to 100% yet, but you're getting there, and things are starting to get better. So I have a little example of a story that I heard at a conference where a gentleman had a serious suicide attempt and went to the hospital. And when he came home, everyone avoided it. Like, you can't talk about that. There was like no hi, how are you? It was just like, you know, back to business as usual. Same gentleman had an injury where he broke an arm. He had cards, he had flowers, he had people calling him all the time, how are you doing? And the point of the story was, when you have a mental health crisis, it's just as important as any other injury or illness or crisis, to have that support. So post-crisis planning allows you to come up with a plan for getting that support that you need until you're back to 100% and can fully resume that daily maintenance. So I went over by a little bit, by a couple minutes here. So I just wanted to thank you for watching my video and learning, allowing me to share with you my experience with RAP and the key concepts and the various parts of the RAP plan. So thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.